What happens when a pop icon beats The Rock at his own game? This weekend, Hollywood witnessed something no one saw coming. A three-day music event, led by Taylor Swift, crushed a major studio film starring Dwayne Johnson. That's right, a concert-style release, built around an album called The Life of a Showgirl, just dominated the U.S. box office, pulling in tens of millions while The Rock's emotional biopic, The Smashing Machine, barely made a dent. Think about that for a second. A pop star's album party outperformed one of the biggest movie icons on the planet. It wasn't explosions, car chases, or massive budgets that drew people in. It was emotion, story, and the connection Taylor Swift has built with her fans. In a single weekend, she didn't just release music. She flipped the entire entertainment industry on its head. And what Taylor pulled off next left even Dwayne speechless. They're calling it the Showgirl era, and for good reason. Taylor Swift's 13th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, isn't just another pop release. It's a statement, a declaration of power, confidence, and creative control. Every frame, every lyric, every moment feels like Taylor reclaiming her own spotlight, not as the girl on stage, but as the woman running the show. The official release party of a Showgirl wasn't your average concert film. The lights shimmered like 1,000 diamonds, fans sang through tears, and the screen came alive with Taylor's voice narrating stories of heartbreak, fame, and rebirth. You could almost feel the warmth of the spotlight, the echo of applause, the soft crackle of confetti raining down. This wasn't just music, it was cinema, a perfectly crafted blend of performance and emotion. Fans didn't just watch it, they felt it. They were part of her journey, witnessing the transformation of a superstar into a storyteller who now controls every frame of her narrative. And as the final song faded, one thing became clear. The Showgirl era had only just begun. But the numbers that followed would prove just how unstoppable Taylor Swift has become. The numbers hit Hollywood like a lightning bolt. In just 3 days, from October 3rd to October 5th, the official release party of a Showgirl earned a jaw-dropping $33 million at the U.S. box office. Add another $13 million from international screenings, and Taylor Swift's 3-day party pulled in $46 million worldwide. Let that sink in. This wasn't a Marvel blockbuster or a high-octane Dwayne Johnson action flick. It was a musical celebration, a filmed experience tied to an album. Yet it left The Smashing Machine gasping for air at just $6 million, marking the lowest opening of Johnson's career. AMC Theaters released a statement confirming that the film ran exclusively across all 540 AMC locations, plus additional screenings in Cinemark and Regal theaters. Inside, the atmosphere was electric. These weren't typical Friday night movie crowds. They were fans dressed in sequins and glitter, singing lyrics in the dark, turning every auditorium into a miniature concert hall. For those 3 nights, theaters transformed into temples of music and emotion. And for Hollywood, that was the real shock. A music event outperformed one of its biggest stars on its own turf. But behind those glowing numbers was a quiet Hollywood panic. Meanwhile, on the other side of the spotlight, Dwayne Johnson was fighting a very different kind of battle. His film, The Smashing Machine, a raw, emotional biopic about MMA legend Mark Kerr, had earned a 15-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival just weeks earlier. Critics called it brave, intense, and unlike anything Johnson had done before. For a man built on action franchises and superhero roles, this was his most personal project yet. In a candid interview, Dwayne admitted something fans weren't expecting: fear. He said it had been a very, very long time since he'd felt that nervous about a role. He spoke about digging into parts of himself he'd never explored publicly: trauma, pain, and vulnerability. He even admitted that while he's not a big therapy person, this film became his version of it. He ripped his emotions open on camera, showing a side of himself few had ever seen. It was risky, raw, and deeply human. But as heartfelt as it was, audiences didn't seem ready to see The Rock break. The movie's box office numbers told a story that critics never could, that emotional honesty doesn't always sell like spectacle. And while one star was breaking down, another was breaking records. What Taylor Swift accomplished wasn't luck, it was strategy. She's not just a singer anymore. She's a brand, a movement, and a marketing mastermind. Every project she touches turns into a cultural event, and the life of a showgirl was no different. But this time, she didn't rely on traditional Hollywood hype. She built her own empire from the ground up. Her secret weapon? Her fans. The Swifties didn't just support her. They mobilized like a global army. Within hours of tickets going on sale, theaters were packed. Fans shared viewing parties on social media, created outfits inspired by the album, and turned the cinematic event into a worldwide celebration. Taylor didn't need movie trailers or billboards. She had millions of voices online doing the work for her. Behind the scenes, analysts call this the Swift effect. She's rewriting the rules of entertainment, turning emotion into engagement and engagement into revenue. Every lyric, every visual, every surprise drop becomes part of an ever-growing story that fans need to experience firsthand. Industry insiders believe this may only be the beginning. There's growing buzz that the official release party of Showgirl was actually a test run, a glimpse into Taylor's next move, a full-length feature film. Some speculate she's already been in talks with studios about expanding her cinematic vision, blending music and storytelling on a scale no artist has ever attempted before. But there's more to this story than numbers. It's about who truly runs the entertainment world now. Behind the glitz and box office numbers, Hollywood was quietly shaking. Reports claim that executives and A-list stars alike were watching the Swift phenomenon with a mix of awe and anxiety. Rumors suggest some studios began rethinking their entire approach to marketing and release strategies, realizing that personality-driven events could rival or even surpass traditional blockbuster films. Industry insiders whispered that boardrooms were buzzing. If a pop star can outsell Dwayne Johnson in a weekend, what does that mean for the rest of us? It was a wake-up call no one expected. Taylor's event wasn't just a commercial success. It was a blueprint for the future of entertainment. Connection, emotion, and fan loyalty were proving far more powerful than star power alone or multi-million-dollar production budgets. The shift was clear. The rules of Hollywood were changing. Audiences weren't just showing up for spectacle. They were showing up for authenticity, relatability, and storytelling they felt a part of. And then came the part that stunned even Taylor's own team. What set the official release party of Showgirl apart wasn't just the music, it was Taylor herself. The film included behind-the-scenes footage, lyric videos for her new songs, and, most strikingly, her personal reflections on the stories behind the music. Fans weren't just watching a performance. They were seeing the moments that shaped it, moments Taylor rarely shares publicly. There's a vulnerability here that's almost cinematic in its intimacy. She spoke about heartbreak, reinvention, and triumph, revealing pieces of herself that made the audience feel like they were peeking into her private world. Every glance, every word, every subtle expression conveyed a depth that went far beyond stardom. It was real, raw, and profoundly human. Fans described it as watching her heart on screen, a rare glimpse into the emotions that drive her artistry. And yet, this emotional honesty wasn't random. It was part of a bigger strategy. Every personal reflection, every visual choice, every song was meticulously designed to deepen the connection between Taylor and her audience, proving that storytelling, emotion, and authenticity could turn a simple album release into an unstoppable cultural event. Taylor Swift didn't just win a weekend at the box office. She turned emotion into an empire. By blending music, storytelling, and personal reflection, she transformed a simple album release into a cinematic event that captivated millions and left Hollywood rethinking its own playbook. Fans weren't just attending a show. They were part of a movement, witnessing a star who knows exactly how to turn connection into power. Maybe this wasn't just a win at the box office. Maybe it was the start of a new kind of Hollywood, one where connection beats spectacle. One where authenticity, narrative, and fan loyalty dictate success more than star names or massive budgets ever could. And if you think Taylor's done rewriting the rules, just wait for what she does next.